Just going on a little solo hike. Thought I would try to vlog and let you guys know what we've been up to. What started out as just a small project in the Airstream ended up being an entire living room overhaul. I know Michael wanted to rearrange the electronics under the couch. I wanted to change the backsplash behind the TV. Once you start making changes, it's really hard to stop because you uncover things as you go. Like, we got under the couch to mess with the electronics, and then we realized that we didn't really like the way the couch was, and then we take the couch out, and then we realized that the mouse fur is kind of gross behind the couch, and we take the mouse fur out. When we took the mouse fur off the walls, we discovered that the Airstream walls are all aluminum, but they're all covered in glue, the glue that attached the mouse fur to the beautiful aluminum. So we could see all this beautiful aluminum that would be so nice to have as the walls of our Airstream, but they're covered in glue. So I decided to try to rub off the glue. So I got some Goof Off or something similar, and I, scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, and it was really hard. The glue is like really strong. So I spent about an hour, and I got about this much of the glue off of the Airstream walls. So we did the math, and we realized it was gonna take over 100 hours to try to remove this glue. Also, the aluminum wasn't actually all that beautiful once we got under there and saw what we were working with. It was B-grade aluminum, so it's not like the outside of the Airstream at all. And there were lots of jagged edges. And it's sharp too. What they do when they make Airstreams is they kind of just like slap it on, and I think they use maybe spare pieces or something, because there was a lot of just like, slapped on random sized pieces of aluminum in there, because they know it's going to be covered, so it doesn't matter how it looks for that layer of aluminum. It wasn't going to look nice even if we were able to get all that glue off. So we replaced it. So we got a better quality aluminum. There are two types. There's shiny and there's, I don't remember the name. My first choice was the not shiny, but they were out. Or they didn't have enough to cover all our walls. So we went with shiny. And I still like it. I mean, it wasn't my first choice, but sometimes you just got to work with what you have. So we enlisted some help, and we had a guy called Tin Can Handyman come and install the aluminum for us. And what he did, it's interesting, is he took off the aluminum, especially on the curved parts. He took off the existing aluminum and then would trace the new aluminum with it to help him figure out what size he needed to have the new aluminum. So it was a pretty tough job, but he did a wonderful job. And now the whole interior of the Airstream is covered in brand new shiny aluminum. And it looks beautiful. I'm so glad we decided to do that. It sure beats mouse fur. We ended up basically gutting the whole living room of the Airstream. And there was something really liberating about that, something really exciting, because it means we kind of get to redesign it to fit our family specifically. And that's exciting, but it's also really scary because we don't know what we're doing, and neither of us has renovated or built anything before. So we're just learning as we go. The biggest thing is the couch. We knew we didn't like the couch the way it was. So that was a no-brainer, taking the couch out and figuring out a new seating solution that also had storage. Because when you live in 200 square feet, everything has to do as much as it can. Like if something can function as a couch and storage, great. If something can function as a bed and storage, basically everything should function as storage also if it can, because we need as much storage as we can get. Our family's big too, so all 5 of us would like to sit on the couch. The way the couch was before, it had 2 really big armrests that was taking up a lot of the seating area. So for our family, it just made sense to take out that couch and build something from scratch. So Michael watched a ton of YouTube videos, and he taught himself woodworking. And meanwhile, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and I taught myself to sew. We got a design down for the couch, and we were happy with it. And we thought, we can just get this couch upholstered. So I called around and got quotes by upholsterers and custom pillows and people like that. But it turns out upholstery is really expensive. I got in touch with a place that makes cushions for boats. And yeah, that turned out it was going to be ridiculously expensive too. So I taught myself to sew in order to upholster our new couch. It wasn't that hard, actually. I just watched a lot of YouTube videos. And granted, I don't know how to sew like an expert by any means, and I really used a lot of trial and error. But I was able to upholster our new couch. So what we did is we bought some really thick fabric that we thought would look good as a couch cushion. And then I did a sample small version just to kind of get a feel of how I was gonna do it and see what it was like to sew and, and recreate the couch, but in a smaller version. So once I did that, I knew that I was able to sew the bigger scale thing. And that way I wouldn't waste too much fabric if I messed up. It turns out the fabric was so thick that I could mess up, and I did. So the couch got made with a lot of trial and error. So I cut out a piece of fabric just a little bit bigger then each side of the foam. And then I sewed them all together and turned it inside out and turned it into an upholstered cushion. And now I have a new skill, so I can bring this to the next project we have in the Airstream. Once the bench seat was completed, we went out there and we sat on it. It was way too deep. So then we came up with an idea for a hutch. So a hutch goes behind. It's like, it supports your back when you're seated, and it also provides another opportunity for storage. So Michael built a hutch, and he built 3 cabinets in the hutch. We painted one blue, one red, and one green, so the girls could each have their own special cabinet hidden behind the back cushion of the couch. And we picked out something for the accent wall behind the TV. What we had before was contact paper. It looked like wood panels behind the TV. It looked good, but it was really just stickers. It was like contact paper stickers of wood. So I decided to just kind of keep that same style, but try to like upgrade it a little. So I found this company called Stickwood. It's actual reclaimed wood with sticker on the back, and you cut it to fit your space, and you just put the pieces of wood on one by one. So yeah, it was kind of keeping the same idea, but upgrading it a little. Another cool thing we devised was an upgrade for the curtains. We never really liked having curtains in the Airstream because even when they're pulled all the way back, they still block quite a bit of the view. I mean, it's nice to have the privacy, but we just wanted to be able to have as much window and as much scenery visible as possible while we're hanging out in the Airstream. So we figured we would redesign the window covering situation. And Michael came up with this really neat idea of inserting magnets behind the window trim. So we have these really heavy duty strong magnets, and we put them in behind the window trim. And then it was my job to get some fabric for curtains and sew magnets in the curtains in order to make completely removable curtains. Also, it's time for a new refrigerator. So while we're here, we're getting a new fridge. It's really similar to our old fridge, but it has more room inside. We have a bunch of stuff to work on while we're here, while we're staying stationary in a Sticks and Bricks. And that's the best time to work on the Airstream because we don't have to live in there. So we have full access, and we get to make a mess and not have to clean it up and stuff like that. So it's perfect. And meanwhile, the girls are spending a ton of time with family.
Okay, come on. More bamboos! Oh, I know! It's so helpful because I lost my other bamboo. This is the best.
Where are we, Lyndon?
I'm in my home.
What is this place?
This is my home!
We still spend a ton of time outdoors. We go on nature walks and hikes, and we go to this soccer field to play. And
Do you like going on an adventure walk with Papa?
Oh, sure I do.
our life isn't that different from it is when we're in the Airstream, except we're enjoying house stuff that we can't do when we're in the Airstream.
1 minute recovery starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And maybe we're not doing as much outdoor stuff, but we're still trying to be outdoors as much as we can. I signed the girls up for soccer camp, which is awesome because I love soccer and I really hope they get into it. I would love to coach soccer with them someday. One thing that I really love about stopping for a little while and being stationary with our Airstream is the fact that we get to fix it up a little bit. It's different than if you're just traveling on the weekends because you're living in there. So stuff gets worn out, stuff gets dirty, definitely. And it's really nice to be able to stop and give it a refresh. I don't know if we're gonna finish in time. We know when we're gonna leave here and we know what we need in order to leave. So we're just gonna make sure we make that happen. And if everything's not completely finished, I don't mind. I think we can just keep working on it on the road. We might have better ideas or come up with other changes we want. I'm excited to get back on the road. That's another thing I love about stopping for a little while and enjoying stationary life is that it gets me all revved up to get back on the road again. Like I start to miss it. You know, sometimes it's really good to miss something.
Olive, what did you find?
Mama helped me.
What is it?
Baby red dinosaur.
We're about to give Lyndon her very first haircut. She's 5.5, almost 6, and she's never had a haircut. Her hair's so long now that it actually gets in the way when she's going to the bathroom. So we decided it's probably time to have a little trim. So I cut my hair a couple hours ago, and we had a little talk with everyone saying kids are not allowed to go cut hair.
Yeah, I cut my hair.
Oh,
A little piece of it.
a long time ago or today?
More like a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
A long time ago today. I think she snuck off with a pair of scissors and clipped a little piece.
Just to test it?
Yeah. just a test.
How's your first haircut?
Good.
It looks just like mine. There's so many little projects that we did on the Airstream while we were stationary, and I wish that we covered them better because it would be so neat to see everything step by step, the whole process. The thing is, it's so hard to do. And for us, we're learning as we go. We don't really know what we're doing. So looking back, I wish that we got more footage of what we were doing. But on the other hand, I'm just kind of grateful that we were able to do what we did. And the whole time with kids running around, having to, just manage the kids, it's a lot. It's a lot to try to film and renovate and with kids running around. And after doing all this stuff, I have so much respect for these YouTubers that film every single thing they do and with such detail and in such a clear, well thought out way. It's so easy to watch an easy to watch video and not realize how incredibly hard it was for that person to make that video. It just made me think, wow, these YouTubers are really good. Are we YouTubers? I don't know. I mean, we've been making videos for like 4 years, I guess, and we've been publishing them to YouTube.